Hey guys, Chuck with X Mods. So I got another package. I was gone for about a week, so I got a bunch of packages in last week. So now I'm trying to catch up on my on some of the videos, box openings, stuff like that. Threw a set of brakes on today. Noticed that the other ones they actually were thick enough, but because when I mic'd them out, it actually wasn't that war. But I'm kind of hoping that just putting brand new brake pads on, I think they have glazed over, might help the stopping ability. So Trail Armor and we met up at Moab a few weeks ago, and ended up talking to the owner, and they agreed to become a manufacturer for the page. So Trail Armor makes these super thick and heavy duty skid plates. So their skid plates are 1/2 inch thick. By example, the ones that are on the machine right here is 0.19, I believe. So if you take the time to actually mic it out, or take your caliper, it's actually 0.18. Between 0.18 and 1.9. So their skid plates are literally 2.5 times thicker than the OEM one. Why is this important? If you're into rock crawling at all, this is real important because a factory skid plate is going to get a lot of damage. I can't tell you how much. I got a lot of damage, a lot of bowing, a lot of flexing on mine. Is it creating a problem? Man, I don't know. But I will tell you this, especially for you people that are up in like Tennessee, stuff like that, and you go over a branch, and maybe that branch has a sharp edge. It could and can and will. I've seen them on YouTube because I believe everything on the internet. Nah, it's pretty legit. The branch went through the factory skid plate and into the passenger seat. Nobody was hurt, but man, I'll tell you what, prime example. So they're not just for rock crawlers. These are for everybody that goes out in the wilderness and just drives over random stuff. I'm driving on I-40 about a year ago, and I accidentally hit a piece of rebar on the road. Went right through my fifth wheel. Did about $5,000 worth of damage. So that's where this would help. That's where this is really going to be helpful with for you guys in Tennessee, Windrock area, and you just want to protect that bottom from either a branch going through or or just gliding on top of the rocks. It's super slick. So if you get your belly on a rock and slide down, it's gonna kind of help you do it easier. Where the factory one, it's gonna flex. It might stick a little bit more and cause you to get stuck. Where this will kind of be like, it'll just help you slide off. So they've gone through really cool stuff here as far as their R&D. They've even created plates. Like this one is for the oil filter. I guess it's something that bolts up underneath so that you don't have to go through. So it makes it easier to do an oil change, basically. I'm pretty excited to check it out. Like I said, it's very thick material. 1/2 inch thick versus this cheap plastic that Polaris gives you. I'm not sure about the weight, but I don't think it's going to be. It's going to be a lot heavier than the factory stuff by far. I don't think it's going to make a big difference. There's probably 15 pieces, so I was going to kind of do an unboxing, kind of like I did with the mid-travel kit. The problem is none of this will really make a lot of sense, and none of it's really kind of like show. I mean, it looks really nice, but I'm not too sure how to look on the camera. You guys let me know. I don't mind shooting another video. I can't put this on for at least a couple weeks just because I've got all the work going on right now, and I got to have it off the lift and then lay on my back and then install everything. They do give you all brand new hardware, which is kind of cool. Good instructions. Lots of whole bunch of different washers. I think that even the washers, they have some kind of a coating on there. So I'm kind of curious if that's more weather resistant than the factory stuff. Especially for you guys that like to drive in the water and all that. There's a lot of holes in it. Obviously, this is to allow the water to drain out and also the heat to escape. Because one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to seal off your skid plate. It'll create a bunch of heat because your coolant lines go from the front of the vehicle to the rear. Well, that's why your tunnel gets hot by your feet, is because your coolant lines are literally right there. So I was a little worried when I started to kind of look at the kit, but there's so many holes in this thing, kind of like Swiss cheese, that I don't see a problem with it. I'll show you real quick what I'm talking about. So this is one of the long runners that goes underneath. So it's got a lot of holes in it and super slick. I like it. This is probably the bottom. Yeah. I bet you dirt won't stick to it either as much. I don't know. It looks really cool though. It's kind of a shame I'll never see it. Once I get it installed, you know what I mean? It's one of those hidden features. They do have a few different colors. Obviously the black is what I chose. I thought the blue was going to be too much. In fact, I put a post out there and you guys thought doing blue was going to be too much as well. And then they got a solid blue and a white. So kind of depending on the color of your rig, they can kind of mix it up and custom build you a kit. They are a group sponsor, so if you check under the feature tab, they'll give you, they have a discount code there if this is something that you think you have value in. So this market is going to be for people that are hardcore. If you rock crawl at all and you scrape your belly, this is for you. If you go into the woods where you're driving over branches with the possibility of a branch maybe coming up from the ground through the bottom, this is for you. If you're a dooner, probably not. I don't see any value in it for people that go to Glamis and that's all they do. Or even if you're just, the desert kind of guy, I mean, those are going to be kind of a limited thing. It will give you protection. There's no doubt. It's in different pieces too. So with the factory set, I think there's 4 different pieces that go together. This is several more. So you don't have to remove as much to access the belly, especially for you guys that are still building your unit. And when you have to run wires front to back, you got to remove all the skid plates because you can't run wires on the upper part. So the most efficient way is to remove your skid plate and then you have free access. With this setup, you could just remove one panel and have all the access right where your wires are at. So you don't have to remove all the skid plates. I think it's going to allow the maintenance of the engine and transfer case a lot easier. Maybe not the transfer case. I do think it'll make the the engine a lot easier to work on. As far as underneath, I can remove little panels versus the whole thing. And it might make it easier for cleaning. I don't know. When I get it all installed, I'll have a better idea of exactly how it's all laid out. They give you a picture of what the final, you can find this on their website. Again, it's Trail Armor. They have a picture of a side-by-side and an XP5 just like this with it all bolted up. And it's pretty modular, I think. So I do believe that you got 2 of these. You got the tail section, the middle, the front. And then they also give you an option if you don't have the rock sliders, like these smooth-looking DRTs. You can buy this kit with the rock sliders as well, and that'll prevent you from gouging up. Hope this is helpful. Manufacturers are calling me weekly now to be part of the page. So we're just talking about what they have to offer for the Xpedition. And then more importantly, what they have to offer you guys. I'm pretty much built, but I'm still putting stuff on here and there. So at this point, I'm kind of just maintaining the group, trying to get some other manufacturers to join up, help you guys on building your car, your Expedition, give you guys some discounts across the board, whether it's wheels, tires, skid plates, turbos, electronics, turn signal kits, seats. I mean, literally, we've signed up so many manufacturers at this point that it's kind of cool. You could just go to Xmods if you want and just click on the feature tab, and you're just gonna find a whole slew of stuff. And the kicker is I don't get any kickback. So I'm just doing this right now just purely as a hobby. They're not writing me any checks or nothing like that. They may be sending me some stuff just to test out and then talk to you guys about it, but nobody's writing me checks. So, and I'm only going to bring up stuff that I personally believe in. I've turned down a few manufacturers because I didn't believe in their product. There was something either shady about it itself or them. I'm not as restrictive as I used to be. I'm kind of loosening the belt on who I let join the page. Typically, they need to have I like them to be well established with a website so that there's some kind of a trace. I have made a couple exceptions. Michael Cabrera, Bev Bell. Bev is they're the ones that make these little pockets to mount stuff to, like the inside door. They're sending me a kit out soon. I'll do a video on that as well. They're not like full-blown businesses like this. Since I was able to talk to the owners of Trail Armor and I met them, and I do believe in their product, I encouraged it. I thought it was a great idea. So let me know what you guys think. Does stuff like this make sense? If you already got one, tell us your experience. That would be really cool too. Is for you people that have spent the money, because I think these kits are like $800 or $900, so they're not cheap. But you can get a discount. I'm really curious on what the actual people that have bought these kits. What do you think about them? How easy was the install? How hard was the install? Tell us what you think. Trail Armor, the owners, are part of the page of Xmods, so they are following. And any feedback that you guys have, they're gonna take that in. Just like DRT, Dan with STI Suspension Direct, JRI. All these guys are very involved in the group. I talk to these guys probably once a week, so they're really getting a lot out of the channel. And Trail Armor, I think they're more of a East Coast, not East Coast, but more east than the Arizona side. So I think that they have a lot to offer with their skid plate. It's pretty cool. If you have one, let us know what you think. And I'm curious on how relevant something like this is for the Xpedition. I hope everybody has a great day. God bless. Go get them. And thanks for everybody, all the support, all the different manufacturers. And talk to you later till the next one. Bye.